Good morning everyone! Today, I am sharing this video with the hope of helping other aspirants to understand if it's possible for them to be permanent residents in Canada based on their current status, or if they will study here or earn work experience. Then, to improve CRS scores in the coming weeks, I will be releasing series of videos related to this. First off, a very important disclaimer that I am not an immigration expert and that all of the information and CRS simulations that we will tackle in this video are based on what's stated in the IRCC website as of end August 2024. And these information may change anytime as IRCC regularly updates them. If you wish to apply to any PR streams, please ensure to do your own research and readings to make sure that it is the most suited pathway based on your personal circumstances. So let's start. Canada has a number of pathways to apply for permanent residency, which are displayed in the screen now. But specific to most Filipinos, including those who plan to study here, the most common and feasible pathways are Express Entry, Provincial Nominee, and Atlantic Immigration Program. Express Entry and Provincial Nominee is applicable to all provinces of Canada, while Atlantic Immigration Program is only for the Atlantic provinces such as New Brunswick, PEI, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador. This specific program requires that you must have a valid job offer from a designated employer. Ibig sabihin, may mga certain companies lang from those provinces who are eligible, and when you receive a valid job offer from those, that's the time you may qualify to apply using this stream. In this video, we will dive into Express Entry programs lang muna. We will see the programs under that and what will be our chance to be drawn and be invited to become permanent resident. There are 3 immigration programs under Express Entry: Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker, and Federal Skilled Trades. All of these are drawn based on CRS or the Comprehensive Ranking System. CRS score is a combination of different factors and the maximum score you can get is 1,200. Of course, the higher the CRS you get, the higher your chance to be included in the draws to be invited to be a PR. In terms of the highlights for each program, Canadian Experience Class or CEC, as implied by its name, requires that the applicant should have worked for at least a year for a Canadian company as a skilled worker or those jobs under Tier 0 to 3. Take note that if you were a student here in Canada and nag-work ka while you were studying as a part-timer, that work experience does not count under Canadian work experience. For Federal Skilled Worker or FSW naman, you can use your work experience from your home country. Plus, if you have Canadian work experience, it will also count. Lastly, for Federal Skilled Trades, there are specific trades that will be qualified under this stream, and you should have a valid job offer from an employer or certificate of qualification from Canada on that specific skilled trade. Shown in this table is a comparison of the 3 programs and different factors. For language, the program that requires the highest CLB, which is 7, is the Federal Skilled Worker, while yung Canadian Experience Class is dependent sa tier of work experience mo. CLB 7 siya if you work under T0 and 1, and CLB 5 lang siya pag tiers 2 and 3. For skilled trades, CLB 5 lang ang requirement. By the way, the highest rating for language is CLB 12. I will be releasing a video soon on how I prepared for CELPIP language test, share quick and practical tips, and I will share to you my scores. In terms of work experience, CEC requires nga at least 1 year experience here. For FSW naman, it requires at least 1 year of continuous foreign work experience in the last 10 years, but your work should be under tiers 0 to 3. If you have Canadian work experience, it can also be counted under FSW. For skilled trades, there are specific skills under tier 2 and 3 that will qualify. You can check this out in the IRCC website. In terms of having a valid job offer, only the Federal Skilled Trade Program requires you to have it to be able to apply. Lastly, for education, only FSW requires that you must be at least a high school graduate, but of course, you will earn additional points if you have finished university degree or masteral, and it will help you increase your CRS. This slide shows naman the maximum points we can earn from each factors. You will notice na lower ang points ng with spouse. That is because if you are including your spouse in your application, he or she will earn their points naman. Kaya for those na single pa, they are given higher points since they don't have spouses to earn those points, which I think is fair and logical. I have noted here naman yung mga maximum points per factor which help you gauge where you are. In terms of age, the score is at its highest from 20 to 29 years of age. As you age more than 29 years old, your score then goes down. So if you will take a 2-year program at the age of 29 years old and you will be able to apply for PR after you graduate pa, you will be 31 years old by then and you should take that into consideration. Ganito ang gagawin natin sa simulation mamaya. For education, highest point is if you have doctoral degree. For language, maximum point is at CLB 10 or higher. And of course, for work experience, the longer your work experience is, the higher your score will be. For FSW specifically, your work experience should be hand in hand with a language score of at least 7 to achieve 50 points. Also, your foreign work experience can earn maximum of 50 points and you can have 50 points more if you have Canadian work experience. These factors, age, education, language, and work experience, all in all, can give you a maximum of 600 points. Then, there are other factors that will boost your score and they are as follows. Dito na pumapasok yung additional points mo if you have relatives in Canada who are permanent residents or citizens na. This is also where you will earn points from studying in Canada, and the biggest points of 600 can be earned if you have provincial nomination. You will then add your score here dun sa unang set of scores for you to check what's your total score versus the maximum score of 1,200. Also, using the IRCC platform, you can also check in which program you qualify already, like CEC or FSW. Based on what you have accomplished, you can qualify for more than one program, and if your score is equal or higher sa minimum score sa susunod na draw, you may be invited to become a PR. Now, the big question is, makakwalify ba ako for PR if mag-aral ako sa Canada? How about pag may work experience ang asawa ko habang OWP ko siya? Let's look at the next slides to simulate that. The first simulation is based on the following. 29 years old, single, has a bachelor's degree which was validated with an ECA, no education and work experience in Canada, CLB 7 for all language modules, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, 3 years skilled work experience, no job offer, and no relatives in Canada. Based on CRS score simulator, your estimated total score will be around 336, which is quite low. Then, assuming you will take up a 2-year masteral here in Canada, your score will increase to 382 points. Take note that we already changed the age to 31 years old, which is your age when you graduate. Now, if we add at least a year of skilled work experience to that, your score will be 467 points, which is a big jump from the original score of 336. Increasing your language score for listening and reading modules from CLB 7 to CLB 9 can also increase your CRS from 476 to 495. Now, assuming that you have a spouse at the same age as you, and he or she earned the skilled Canadian work experience while you were studying for 2 years. Assuming the spouse also has a bachelor's degree, CLB 7 in all language modules, 2 years skilled work experience in Canada, and 3 or more foreign work experience, has no valid job offer, his CRS will be 422 naman. His score can go up to 472 if we assume that he has a valid job offer. Moving on to another simulation which is for more mature candidates. For this, we assumed that her age is 39 years old at the time of application. You will see that her CRS is below 300, which is very low. Assuming she studies masteral in Canada, her score will be 322. And if she will work for at least a year, her score can go up to 401 points. It can go up to 429 if the language course can be improved. Comparing the scores of the 29 years old versus the 39 years old, we will immediately see the negative impact of the age on our CRS scores. Although this is at the level of 400 na, pasok na nga ba to be invited for PR? Let's now review the 2024 Express Entry draws kung ano ang pinakamababang CRS scores na na-draw. Here is for the general draw, which means it can include all programs basta pasok sa CRS scores na to. You will notice that the lowest CRS drawn this year of 2024 was 524, and most of them are at the level of 540-ish na. Even in 2023, the minimum score drawn are above 500 na. Now, looking at the Canadian experience class naman, their minimum CRS are also above 500 points. Although it can change and can go low, there is a big possibility that it will not, considering the competitive environment now. This means that studying and working in Canada is no longer enough para magkaroon tayo ng chance na ma-PR for the ages that we assumed in this simulation. Now, may paraan pa ba to increase the scores? We can try to improve the language, but I would say na hindi pa rin siya ganun ka-significant. One thing you can consider is to check kung may relatives kayo dito. Other Pinoys were invited to be PRs, the mere fact na may relative lang sila na PR or citizen. As of now, the biggest chance is really the provincial nomination. When you are nominated by a province, it will earn you 600 points, and that is a sure win to get invited. Each of the major provinces have their own eligibility requirements to get nominated, and this is what you can consider. This is also why I mentioned in my other video that if you are focusing in Ontario or British Columbia, maybe it's high time to check other provinces if your goal is PR. My next video will tackle on some of the provinces nomination program for us to see kung saan tayo may mga feasible pathways. For now, I hope this video gave you a clarification on how feasible it is for you to immigrate here and how studying and working in Canada can help increase your score. That's it for now. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and click the notification bell so you can be notified when we upload our next videos. Thank you and God bless everyone. Bye!